jack-o'-lanterns smiling from every front porch, candy and plastic masks as far as the eyes can see, and the smell of baked goods throughout the air is what is to be expected when October 1st comes around. October 31st, however, is the highlight of the month for many adults and children, but not all. The origin of Halloween has a long and entangled history throughout Christianity and paganism, but how alike or unalike are these two? History.com. Halloween, or All Hallows Eve, is a holiday with a dark and mysterious past. This holiday is based off of the Celtic festival known as Samhain. Samhain is a festival where Celtics would light bonfires during the night, dress as terrifying creatures to scare away spirits, and partake in animal sacrifices as a way to welcome their new year. When the 9th century rolled around, Christianity had spread like a wildfire and claimed Samhain as its own traditional religious holiday to celebrate the dead. However, it wasn't until the 18th century that the Pope, George III, claimed November 1st as All Saints' Day and October 31st as All Hallows Eve. This celebration did not make its way to America until the later half of the 18th century, and by this time, October 31st was known as Halloween. Now that some groundwork has been laid about the origin of Halloween, we can explore the religious sides of this annual holiday. Spirits bent on vicious pranks often encouraged fear and superstition among people. Christians believed that the pagans' ancestors were demons, and when they worshipped them, were in return practicing witchcraft and necromancy. Trick-or-treating was also off limits for Christian children. It encouraged a large amount of vandalism. Instead, during this time period, Christians did not celebrate by carving gruesome, nasty faces into pumpkins, but were encouraged to attend church services. Present-day Christians are encouraged to not become spooked or worried by the numerous different pagan-based traditions of this time of year. However, modern Christians are not discouraged from celebrating Halloween completely. However, they are encouraged to abstain from drinking and any other sort of debauchery that could take place. Let's flip sides for a moment and view the other side of the religious spectrum, paganism. OTG.org. Samhain, a pagan Celtic festival, as we know, was the first step in a chain of changes that led to our modern-day Halloween. Originally, when celebrating Samhain, it was common to dance around bonfires, sacrifice crops and animals, and dress as gruesome creatures to ward away oncoming spirits. When the spooky tradition first came to America, it came during a time of fierce Protestant belief in the 19th century. This caused the holiday to be watered down for fear of religious persecution. This no longer is the case. Pagans are no longer afraid of religious persecution and no longer practice sacrificial rituals. Instead, pagans celebrate Samhain by gathering with their family and feasting, sort of like a New Year. Present-day pagans also consider Samhain and Halloween as two separate holidays. Samhain is seen as a spiritual, privately practiced moment, whereas Halloween is a community practice, fantasy-based holiday. Holidays, histories, religions, but what does this all mean? CircleSanctuary.org. It means that Halloween not only has a history that is seeded with superstition and tradition, but also has religious intents. Though paganism and Christianity are seen as opposites in majority of people's eyes, the similarities between the two and how they celebrate this time of year is rather striking. A time to gather and be merry, to celebrate the ones you loved and your ancestors. In modern times, it is also appropriate to dress as our favorite ghouls and goblins and join our community in trick-or-treating. However, there are also still strong differences between the two religions. Numerous Christians believe that it is not right to celebrate Halloween, while various pagans believe that Halloween and Samhain have nothing in common, and Halloween is all fantasy-based. Regardless, Halloween is an annual holiday that has very deep roots within the culture and religious communities. It affects everyone differently. It's more than costumes, pumpkins, and candy. It's what is really behind the mask. Christians and pagans, we all hold Halloween dear to our hearts in our own special way.